Hi, I'm Matt Inskip from DL.
And I'm Rob Perkins from Verstegen.
And in this section of the Masterclass, we're going to show you how to produce the best barbecue pork ribs. So we're going to start off first. We need to remove the membrane that's over the top of the pork ribs. Get rid of all of that, because what will happen if you leave that on there, you're going to get, the ribs are going to tighten up and you're going to lose a lot of moisture out of the ribs. So we're just going to discard that. And then we're going to take these ribs and drop them in with a bit of the nice barbecue marinade from Verstegen.
So let me tell you a little bit about the Verstegen water-based marinade. It's packed full of barbecue flavour. It really is a product you should be using to get the most from your barbecued spare ribs. From there, we place it into a boilable vacuum bag.
So we've placed it into the boilable vacuum bags. Now these are a really high micron bag. Really nice and thick, you're not going to get any splitting when the product cooks, and obviously we've got a lot of bones in there, so there's sharp points. With them being so thick, you're always going to keep that seal on there, and you can't do it in a normal vacuum bag. It will just split. You're going to lose all the moisture from your product. You're just going to ruin it basically. I mean, these bags are where you need to be. So we're going to take this one off now, and we're going to vacuum seal it, and then it's ready to go in the oven.
So to the vacuum bag, we're going to add a piece of probe pad, and what the probe pad does is it allows the probe to go into the meat. It seals around it. After cooking, it's then removed from the bag, allowing that bag to be then chilled and used, utilised in the same way as the rest of the bags that come out of the oven for the butcher. All you simply do is you take a piece of pad, cut it off, and it's a good idea to just dry the front of the bag, remove the sticky membrane onto the pad like that, and when this bag goes into the oven, the probe gets inserted and the cooking process starts. So the beauty of the probe pads is that once the probe is entered into the meat, it then monitors the cooking process and temperature all the way through until the cooking is finished. It also gives you the HACCP details that the EHO requires, and the setting that has been created with rationale will be available to the butchers for this process.
So we've also created some other really nice ready to cook products. We've done the chicken legs with the Dijon marinade. Really strong punchy marinade, give you a really nice mustard flavour. Exactly the same way as we did the pork ribs. We've added them into the nice boilable vacuum bag, and now they're ready to rock and roll.
We've also got some lovely lamb shanks with our amazing gyros marinade. Onion, garlic, herbs and spices, marinated in exactly the same way, and these are going to go in overnight. What else have we got, Matt?
So we've also put together some really nice beef short ribs. Again, using the Verstegen barbecue marinade, exactly the same way as the pork ribs, and these are going to cook overnight as well.
And we've also got some lovely pork collar. This is marinated in a product called Kecap Benteng, which is an Indonesian sweet soy sauce. Same usage rates, same marinating times, and this is going to go in overnight tonight as well.
That's fast becoming my favourite, that one, Rob.
Indeed.
Yeah. So for this cooking process, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that we can do with this. Comes to mind when it comes to the winter, shin rings with a nice burgundy sauce. We can do almost anything and everything. So now that the ribs are ready, we're just going to select our preset settings on the iCombi Pro. As you can see here, we've got a lot of settings, but now we're going to focus on the barbecue pork ribs. And now the iCombi Pro is going to come up to temperature, ready for the pork ribs. So now we're going to take our pork ribs, we're going to open up the iCombi Pro. We're going to have our nice pad facing outwards. We're going to take the probe, and we're just going to slide that through the pad into the thickest part of the ribs, just into the centre. Close our door, and the iCombi Pro is going to do all the work for us. So that's the pork ribs cooked and out of the chiller. As you can see here, the probe pad that we've used has done its job. It's locked in all of that flavour, and that's kept a really nice seal on there. And the best thing about it is the extended shelf life we're going to get now.
Exactly, yeah. You can see how strong those bags are. There's no bones protruding through there.
That's it, yeah.
It's perfect.
It's just kept a nice sealed environment.
Yeah.
So if we're going to take the ribs from the bag, there's going to be a bit of juice and things like that in there, so we're just going to pat that off, dry them down, make a nice dry surface for the sauce to stick to, because we want to get plenty of barbecue sauce on these. I mean, I can smell that now, that marinade.
You can smell that barbecue marinade. That's Verstegen products for you, Matt.
Ah, that's it.
Pop those
Only
in
the
there.
best. Lovely stuff. So now, I believe, we're just dropping on a bit of the barbecue sauce, and we're about ready to rock and roll.
And these are then ready to be served into the butcher's counter.
Oh, you can see how that clings now as well,
Look at
can't you?
that gloss on there.
That's beautiful. Absolutely perfect. And then when it comes to cooking these, I mean, we could put them into an oven-ready tray, I suppose, for easy
We
use for the
could, yeah,
customers.
with an amount of sauce in there.
Yeah, definitely. A bit of extra sauce for them to mop it as it's cooking,
Exactly.
get that really nice caramelisation and glaze on there. And yeah,
Right.
they look absolutely mega.
And ready to garnish, Matt.
Lovely stuff. So I'll just drop a little bit of this on top, and a bit of this, and a bit of that.
Just
now
like
we've got a lovely tray of pork ribs, beautifully slow cooked, nice and tender, ready for your customers.
Oh, look at this, guys.
It looks well, doesn't it?
That's
Looks
good.
fantastic.
Looks
And I
good.
tell you, your masterclass was spot on. Now you can see why, in my opinion, these are the best ribs in the world.
Oh, they're
I
incredible.
think this is becoming a more winner now.
I know,
Look at how they're
we
cooked
were
off.
just saying they've got the wobble to them. They're really nice and soft. So yeah.
Right, just imagine that, at a dinner party, that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And for the consumer, all it is reheating through.
All the hard work's been
All the
taken out
hard
of it
work's
for
been
'em.
done. And the beauty about the Rationale cooking systems is that they can have this consistency every time, the same product every time.
Some serious money you'd pay for those, wouldn't you?
Anyway, I'm hungry. I want to eat some. Oh, that's tender.
Full on flavour that.
That
Falling off the
barbecue
bone
sauce
as well.
is incredible. Oh, let's just drop him off that.
Oh,
I
look
could
at
do that
that.
with a spoon, can I? Does that get the seal of approval?
Do you know what? That's going to be a big winner. That.
They're so soft.
I know,
That.
yeah.
Do you know what? That is the best beef ribs in the world. That is top.
Oh, these are just falling apart. Look at that.
You did the lamb shanks overnight.
We did nice and slowly in Verstegen gyros water-based marinade,
Right.
full of herbs, spices, onion, garlic. Perfect. Look at the way they're falling
really
apart.
looks nice and tender.
I'm going to go for the first.
And you also cooked it in the same cooking system as the beef ribs.
Exactly the
altogether.
same way.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
And with the
exactly
pork
the same
collar as
way.
well. from
And the
pulled
pork collar. So
Yeah.
so the concept we showed in the masterclass on the pork ribs, it's exactly the same for all these cuts.
Exactly the same,
Right,
just slightly longer cooking on your thicker meats. You know,
Absolutely.
your lamb shanks,
Absolutely.
the chicken legs cooked the same as
Very, very
the
simple.
pork ribs. So
So this one here, Rob, is the pork collar, isn't it? Cut very thickly and then cooked in exactly the same as the other.
It is. It's marinated in ketchup benteng, which is an Indonesian
okay.
sweet soy sauce, and then cooked overnight exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Finished with a ketchup sauce, and as you can see, once reheated,
Really nice.
dude.
That is
Just
pulled
falls
pork,
apart.
isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
smash
Look
it.
at that.
just comes
and
apart.
that ketchup sauce is lovely and sweet
Yeah.
as well.
It
isn't
is.
it?
It's perfect. Perfect
yeah.
complement. Perfect.
Let's try with it. That's
That's
a nice one,
incredible.
isn't it?
That's my favourite.
It's different,
Yeah.
but I suppose you could use the ketchup and the ketchup benteng on your ribs and do like
You
an
can-
Indonesian style
You,
rib.
you can chop and change. You can do a Dijon. Use the Dijon marinade that we've used on the chicken.
Yeah, lovely.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
a few
then
different
talking about the
flavours.
chicken one, is that the Dijon marinade? And
Yeah, and the honey and mustard sauce over the top. I mean, they've browned up absolutely lovely, haven't they? Yeah,
again,
I
it's,
think,
it's a chicken leg was a cheap cut, which sometimes you just give it away, sometimes don't you? But
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
But
Yeah.
now you see in the supermarkets cooking chicken legs in a sauce.
Oh, I know, I'm getting horrendous amounts of money
Crazy
for
prices.
them.
Yeah.
and the good thing about slow cooking, like this concept, it brings a completely different texture, different flavour,
It
and the chicken flavours comes more intensely as well, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Because of
absolutely.
slow cooking.
Slow cooking.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. You can see as well there how it's rendered the fat out of the skin.
Yep.
And if you served that as a chicken dish, you'd be very happy with that, wouldn't you? Fantastic,
yeah.
guys, done a good job there.
What are you taking home, Dan?
I'm going to take the beef ribs. That's my favourite one.
Right.
That's my favourite.
lovely
That is.
stuff.
Yeah.
Perfect
That
job.
pork collar's got my name on it.
Yeah, lovely
Yeah.
stuff. I'll have the rest then.